An estimation just means you ask your team how many hours of work do you need to finish this task. Many project managers ask for a single value for the estimation. By this, your team member has no way to express any uncertainty or confidence on this information, so you may not know how much contingency to add to this estimation. The PERT estimation is asking for 3 estimates. The pessimistic estimate, that's the worst case scenario, what you should not exceed, the most likely estimate, and the optimistic estimate, if everything works out perfectly. This will allow your team members to express the uncertainty of the estimation. Now we have some statistics to understand. The PERT mean means pessimistic estimation plus 4 times the likely estimation plus the optimistic estimation divided by 6. This is a statistic value. Let's say an example. The PERT mean is 50 hours. This means we have a 50% probability that the final result of the estimation will be above this value. If you're a project manager, I think this is too risky, so this is not good for your budget and of course not good for the job. The next value we want to discuss is the sigma, or called standard derivation. It's a pessimistic value minus the optimistic value divided by 4. If you take this value and add it to the PERT mean, you get the pessimistic estimation. This again is a statistic value. It's called 3 sigma and means if you apply this value, you have a 99 probability percentage to be below this value in your estimation. I think with this budget you're fine, so that's good for your budget and good for your job. To make it clear to you, let's look at this example now. In this example, you have asked your team for the PERT estimation and you got back the following results. Optimistic 20 hours, most likely 40 hours, pessimistic 50 hours. Now we come to the statistic. The PERT mean calculated out of this is 38.33 hours. And as you can see, it's calculated out of optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic values. Within a 50% probability, the real hours from the real project would be above this value. This is not good for a project manager to ask for this budget. The sigma, meaning the standard derivation calculated for this, is 5 hours. As you can see, this is calculated based on the optimistic and pessimistic value. If it comes now to the budget, as we said, you will use 3 sigma. The value calculated based on this is 53,33 hours. As you can see, it's calculated based on the PERT mean and 3 times sigma. This gives you a 99% probability that your real budget will be below this. Let's change some value and give your team a little bit more confidence. Let's say optimistic it's 30 hours and pessimistic is 45 hours. You now can see the PERT mean has changed, the sigma has changed, and the contingency that is based calculated on the most likely value has decreased. So your team is more confident in the estimation. Back to the program. I think the estimation type PERT now makes a lot more sense. You can also select estimation type linear, what is a type that is depending on the continuous process. I won't explain this here in more detail. Let's stay with PERT. I think the contingency makes sense as well now. We have selected sigma 1, means we want to have a 99% security that our budget will be below this estimation values. You can also choose normal, that would use the PERT mean as base for the estimation and give you a 50% security. We will stick with sigma 1 estimation. If we now go back to the project overall overview, we can see all our tasks here, and the next step would be to request the initial estimation. So this next one I will give you an overview of the workflow that is within PM Strand.